We continue to follow the impacts from the flurry of executive orders by President Trump in his first few weeks in office. And that includes a freeze on billions of dollars in foreign aid. Today, a federal judge gave the Trump administration less than 2 days to release that money, following an order to do just that nearly 2 weeks ago. The judge saying today the administration has given no sign of complying with that initial order, and they need to this week. And this past weekend, the Trump administration put nearly all of USAID's 4,700 full-time employees on paid leave. It's set to eliminate 1,600 of those positions. A different federal judge allowed that to move forward, rejecting pleas to stop it. USAID handles civilian foreign aid and development assistance around the world. And a retired U.S. ambassador now working at Lewis and Clark College tells us people in those countries will suffer. Niels Marquardt is a diplomat in residence at Lewis and Clark. He served 33 years in the State Department before retiring in 2013. He says he's seen firsthand the work done by USAID.
You know, as a former U.S. ambassador who had AID colleagues in my embassy who did work that I was very proud of, I became very familiar with it. I visited their sites, and you know, my job as U.S. ambassador was to draw attention overseas to the good work that is done by and on behalf of the American people, so that people in the countries where we work would actually know what the United States was doing. This would buy us goodwill, would buy us access, and that has suddenly stopped. And it's not just that it's stopped, but you know, you have people that have HIV/AIDS in Africa under the President's Emergency Fund for AIDS Relief, or PEPFAR. It's been around for 20 years. It was founded by President George W. Bush, and it's one of the most amazing life-saving initiatives that any country or any entity has ever taken in the history of mankind. 25 million people are alive today because of this. They would not be alive. They'd be dead.
He says helping out other countries is good for the U.S. too. Without U.S. aid, we lose access, like he mentioned, and also influence.
We have really given up probably our preeminent tool for soft power projection in the world, something that wins us friends and demonstrates that we're not just a powerful and a wealthy country, but we're also a generous country. And that's a value that's important to Americans, and best demonstrated by these bags of flour or corn or rice that have a handshake like this on them, and it says, "From the American people." I've been seeing those for 50 years since I first went to Africa as a Peace Corps volunteer in the 70s. And the notion that suddenly we're not going to be doing that anymore, and we're going to let others try to fill this void. And by others, we have concerns about countries like China, Russia, moving in and probably not doing the job as well as we have done it, because they don't have the decades of experience, but also filling the void of friendship that we have established with so many peoples around the world.
Another retired ambassador from Bellingham, Washington, agrees that cutting U.S. aid is costly beyond simply dollars and cents. Eric Wilkinson brings us the story.
Raised in Bellingham, Jeffrey Hovenier has been a U.S. diplomat for more than 30 years. He says his favorite part of the job is simple:
representing the United States of America.
Hovenier spent the last 3 years as an ambassador to Kosovo, where he saw firsthand the benefits of foreign aid dispensed by USAID, a program now targeted for closure by the Trump administration. It's a move the career diplomat feels is counterintuitive.
Our programs combat sources of instability, things that give rise to terrorism. There are USAID programs in Central America, for example, that create conditions so people don't want to migrate.
President Trump is undergoing mass firings of federal workers and shutdowns of government programs as part of his America First policy to save U.S. taxpayers money. He questions how the money is being spent by USAID and whether it could be better spent domestically. While conceding USAID could use some reform, Hovenier says the president's threatened shutdown of the agency will destabilize the globe and allow America's adversaries to exert greater influence over foreign nations. He believes Trump's America First policy is, in this regard, putting America second.
You know that China, Russia, other competitors are ready to step in.
Kosovo and other USAID projects may seem like a world away from Bellingham and the rest of Washington, but there is a direct connection that translates to prosperity and jobs here at home.
Last year, about $82 million was spent by USAID or granted or contracted with Washington state entities.
The former ambassador says the farming and tech sectors would be hit the hardest.
So there's a big impact for Washington state as well.
While the U.S. provided $68 billion in aid to the world in 2023, that comprises less than 1% of the federal budget. It's money Hovenier believes is well spent.
It's hard to understand why this particular group is being singled out.
Eric Wilkinson reporting there. And we'll keep tabs on whether or not the Trump administration complies with today's federal ruling to release billions in USAID dollars. And we'll keep you posted.